Hey guys, it's the Fight Nutritionist, and today I want to start on a series called TFN's Guide to Supplements. So first up, we're talking about creatine. Alright, so let's talk about what creatine is. So first off, creatine is a naturally occurring compound found within food and synthesized within the body. It's a part of an energy system that is responsible for explosive, high-power movements. So think sprinting, think punching, think football, those stop and go movements. The energy system lasts about 10 to 15 seconds, so it's just really meant for explosive power. The body can regenerate this energy system on its own, but it's going to depend on recovery time between sets, and then also how much stores are actually in your body. So creatine is an extensively studied supplement. It's been studied across all age ranges from infants to older adults. It's been studied across various time spans from a few weeks to years, so there's really no side effects of taking this supplement. I recommend it to all of my athletes and implement it as much as I can. We'll get into the benefits in a second, but it is a really great supplement, and this is why. All right, so what has the research shown us are the benefits of taking creatine? So first and foremost, creatine has been shown to increase sprint ability. So think of a football game, those stop and go movements. It's supposed to increase the ability to do that over and over and over again. It has shown to increase anaerobic and aerobic capacity, which means you can go faster and longer without getting fatigued as quickly. It's been shown to increase strength and muscle mass, by upregulating growth factors within the muscles. It's been shown to enhance glycogen replenishment. So, when taking a creatine supplement with carbohydrates, it's supposed to enhance the speed at which those carbs get within your muscles, which is really important for recovery, and then also maximizing those stores so you have enough energy for your next training session later on in the day. Again, it's been shown to have a role in attenuating muscle damage and inflammation. So again, that recovery aspect. And creatine also increases intramuscular water holding capacity, which means, yes, it does increase the water in your muscles. But for those of you who exercise in hot, humid environments or sports that take place outside, this is a great benefit because it can prevent dehydration. There's also been a lot of research with creatine in regards to its effect on brain function. So in terms of cognitive function, creatine seems to have a benefit on mental clarity and mental function when you're sleep deprived, and they've done a few studies in rugby players and soccer players with skills performance tests basically showing that those who were on creatine had better reaction times and had less mental fatigue compared to the group who wasn't on creatine. So for any of you guys who compete in sports where there is a large mental aspect to every game, taking creatine, if you're sleep deprived, may help keep your head in the game, keep you focused. Another topic that has been researched a lot is the effects of creatine on traumatic brain injuries. So when we have concussions, it causes inflammation and disrupts a lot of the metabolism that occurs in the brain. So there's been a few models, mostly in mice and animal models, but it has shown that when supplementing with creatine, it has helped to kind of alleviate or prevent large disruptions in brain metabolism and decrease inflammation that does cause to further problems later on. All right, so what about the timing and dosing of creatine? A lot of individuals typically initiate a loading phase, which means you take 20 grams for 5 to 7 days. That will typically maximize results, and you'll see that within about 4 to 5 weeks. A lot of times you can just take a maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams per day. And creatine is best to take after a workout. So combine it with your whey protein is fine. Like I mentioned earlier, it enhances glycogen resynthesis. So combining your creatine with some sort of carb supplement or a carb-like snack will help get that, those sugars and those carbs into your muscles quicker. All right, what about some practical strategies for my combat athletes? So my man, Tony Ricce, actually did a peer review paper on this. It's called Practical Strategies for Combat Athletes. I'll leave the link in my bio. But basically kind of just reviewed creatine and how it can be used within combat sports. So what he found were a couple things that in a lot of the papers that they reviewed that said that creatine seemed to have more an effect on upper body movements. So for fighters with striking, it can have a benefit in improving striking capacity and ability, which again seems to be more common in fights these days. And then another strategy that he suggested was in terms of how much creatine to take. So again, this is a supplement that does increase water within your muscles. So for a sport in which how much someone weighs is really important, that can be a fear that it will retain some water and that won't come off when it comes time for weigh-ins. Now, what he suggested is kind of foregoing that loading phase and just initiating a maintenance dose of that 3 to 5 grams and doing that for about 12 weeks. And he said that that should be able to stabilize the body and any weight fluctuations. So then when it comes time to weigh-ins, it really shouldn't have an effect on the weight. Again, if the weight is still a concern, titrating down the dose as it gets closer to weigh-ins can be beneficial, or just kind of initiating a washout period of about 4 to 6 weeks before weigh-ins, which should maintain all the benefits that creatine will give you, but not have any impact when it comes to getting on the scale. So again, I'm going to leave that link in my bio for you guys to read. I hope this information was helpful, and we'll continue on with reviewing a ton of other supplements. If you guys have questions, concerns, DM me, leave comments, and I hope to see you guys soon.